Hey guys, how's it going? At a friend of mine's shop, he ended up picking up this 1984, is it?
83.
83 Suzuki 125 three-wheeler that he grabbed from a pick a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And well, I'll let you tell the story.
Yeah. So I was over in the state, and I went over there to look at some cars, and I was walking around a bunch of different barns, and stumbled across this under a bunch of junk. And the old farmer used to use it to check his fence line. It's got 2,300 miles on it, so he used it. And he got too old to ride it, parked it in the barn, and it sat there for about 20 years.
And then you came along, made an offer, and then now you own it. No cars. You get any cars from the pick.
No,
but
I got no cars. No,
well,
it's probably a good thing.
Yeah, it takes up less room.
Yeah.
But you brought it back. You were able to get it running. The fuel was all crappy and everything. You pulled the carburetor twice, but now it's kind of starves.
Yeah, it's weird. It seemed like an idle jet issue to me, but when I first got it, I started it on starter fluid. Checked for spark, and it fired right up. So then I took the carb off because it wouldn't idle, and went through and cleaned the carb. Put it back on, same problem. Took it back off and went completely through it, and then put it back on, same problem. I feel like I'm missing something.
He called me over to look at it and see if I can help figure it out. I said, how about I throw it on my truck, we bring it back to my shop, put it up on the operating table, and see if we can get it ourselves running, and we'll make a video of it. What does 3x6 mean?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's odd.
Yeah.
I'm sure the comments will answer that one.
Yes,
but anyway, it looks decent. The tires actually, they're like the first thing that go, and they look like they're originals, and they're not all cracked and busted up.
Yeah, they're in great shape.
Yeah, for something that sat, again,
the whole thing's in great shape.
Yeah, it sat indoors. You could definitely tell it was not out in the weather like most of the crap that I drag home. But anyway, so you made a video of it. Actually, you got the pick one, and it's in there.
Pick, and then I'm going to do a video of this. It's on Drive Analog, and yeah. So I mean, the video of it will have all the cars and everything. And it's okay. I had a video of this, finding this in the pile of junk in the corner.
So I'll put a link to his channel if you guys want to see the beginning of where it was at that property. And if you got a video you're putting together, trying to get it running, I'll just link it to this one. All right, guys, let's go throw it in my truck and see how we can make out. All right, let's see what we got. It doesn't look too beat, other than that. It's stuff that's, four-wheelers, three-wheelers, they just get ridden hard. It's just the nature of them. The area around here is real rocky and hilly and trees, so they definitely take on some abuse. I think he said that they used this one on a farm. And for, what, 39 years old? It's really not that terrible. I guess what we should probably do is maybe we'll fire it up, and we'll get a quick listen, see what it's doing, if it'll fire up, and we kind of, see if we're getting better or worse as we work on it. We get you sit up in a stand. Let's have at it. Let's give her a couple of pull up on the choke. It says it's on. I don't think it has any other switch besides that. Hopefully it doesn't rip out of our hands. I smell gas. Let's kill that. Well, that's a quiet one. Go pop the seat off. And we're just going to go over everything. It's kind of a bad idea to trust what somebody else does, and then it has a tendency to burn you. So we're just going to go over every item and see what we come up with. First, let's go. Actually, it says choke there, but I see a separate button. It might be cable operated. Let's go pull on that cable, see if that comes out. No. It might help. Give her another couple of yanks. Just in case. I tell you, I like stuff with electric start. All right, let's go get a urine sample out of the gas tank, see what we're working with for fuel. I know he said he changed it. I don't know if he cleaned the tank though, Let's let that settle out for a second. I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna try to make sure I get all the way to the bottom of the tank, just in case there's water in it. And if there is, it'll settle out in the fuel. Alright. Doesn't look terrible. If it had water in it, at the very bottom you would see like a, well, I'll show you. I'll put a little bit of water in it. The camera's picking that up. But you can see on the bottom. If the water was dirty, it would definitely show up more, but you can see how it's got two different levels to it. So I think we're good with that. Not saying that there's not in the float ball. But let's go and get the plug out of it and we'll check what we got for spark. Actually looks pretty good. Color looks fairly decent. A little carboned up, but not bad. Of course, the pull start's on the other side. Let me hop up. That looks good. I'm just waiting to hook a drill to it to spin it over instead of trying to pull start it. Shall we? Put a little bit of gas in the cylinder. Let's see if that'll fire off for us. Get the plug back in it. And give her a tug. Choke's off. Here's the throttle. Yeah. Runs and then dies. It is definitely starving for fuel. Let's crack the bowl drain open, see if we get anything out of it. It's middle of February. We got a warm day. Well, it's got, well, I wouldn't exactly call that a bunch of gas. Yeah, we got nothing in the flow. Let's pull it right out, just in case that's clogged. The fuel tank on this is lower. Yeah, that would do it, huh? Is lower than the bowl, so it's got to have a way to pump fuel up to it. Let's get this plastic off out of our way and we'll kind of see what's going on underneath it. Yeah, it's definitely not enough gas to run. What do you got on this? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe something else. Let's get that skin out of our way and see what we can find underneath. What does that go to? There we go. See what's happening in there. It's a rare warm day. Everybody's got their motorcycles out in the middle of February. So it's got a fuel pump. So let's break the lines going down. Oh, this is a guard right here. This isn't the tank. We have the line. And that's going to be the feed going to the carb. This is one of them is going to be the line going into the tank to draw fuel out. And something has to send a signal for this to work. These are like diaphragm fuel pumps or pulse pumps. And it takes a pulse from the engine. As the engine runs, it's not a constant level of air. I don't know the best way to put it. As the piston goes up and down, the crankcase kind of changes up and down, and the same thing with the carb. There's a pulse to it. Well, that pulse signal, you run to a fuel pump. That fuel pump will run a diaphragm and have the diaphragm move slightly in and out, up, down, and it'll supply you with fuel. I don't see, maybe this line. Alright, so we got one here. It's kind of a weird area for it. I wouldn't think that would be it. It might be. Generally, it's kind of, that might be it. I was saying it's going to be on, somewhere on the Venturi, and if you look at it, you can actually see inside the carburetor. The boss goes down. That might be just a vent for the float bowl, though. I'm not sure yet. Actually, right there. There you go. It's got a primer on it. So that's probably it right there, maybe. Let's go give that a couple of... We still have that screw out of the carburetor, I think, so... That would be for initial startup. Yeah, the screw's still out, right? It's loose. Nope, I tightened it. Let's see if that did anything. Let's leave that right out. We'll give her a couple of shots. A little different system than what I'm used to. Gas smells kind of wrong. So it'll manually pushes it in there. But wouldn't you think that screw go? I should be able to fill that float bowl up though, right? With that. I also know there's a prime setting. Should be a prime setting on the, it's on reserve. Off. Is that prime or on? That's on. Off. No, it doesn't have a prime. Off, reserve, and on. So we'll leave it on reserve. I get you. There's a lower pickup on the fuel bowl. Let's go. So that seems like it's overflowing the bowl. I get a better idea when we take that off of there, what it looks like. And do we have enough fuel? Should have filled that bowl. No. It's a little different than what I'm used to. All right. Guys that are used to this already are making comments. How stuff works. Let's... I wonder if we should pull a fuel line off. So there's got to be 3 lines going to this. It might have one going straight this way, coming off the tank, and then this one would be the pulse. Where does that go? There's kind of 2 areas I'm suspecting right now. One is either the float is so off that no fuel is allowed to get into there, or the pump is not working. So I primed it the best we can. Let's see if we can go kick this thing on its side. And that should be full of fuel. And if it is, then the primer part of it is working. Plus I want to look in there anyway, just to see how things are. And we got to figure out why the pump, it sounds like it'll run, it'll prime, from what he was saying. But then it just doesn't take over and start pumping fuel to it, which could be just the pump is just junk, you know. Again, sitting for 20 years. A lot of you guys are lucky you're able to get fuel easy It doesn't have ethanol in it. All this stuff made in the 70s and 80s, it's just not made for it, you know, and it ain't older than that. That's got plenty of fuel, but that fuel, man, it looks yellow too. Just see what we get. We can get it like airports you can go to. Let's just see what we got going on in here. Yeah. On the cloudy side. Let's run that primer. Shoot right out of there. So we know at least the flow is good going to it. Just whether the pump is doing anything. All right. In here, because he also said it didn't idle. He would get it running and it wouldn't idle. So there's a main jet and an idle jet. I'm gonna go pop. Let's go pop both of them out real quick. And just make sure they're functioning correct. Yeah, it's nice. It's got a plastic gas tank. Keeps it from really getting cruddy. Yeah. That's gonna be the jet, not the whole thing. I was hoping the whole thing was gonna crack loose. Let's get the pin out of it. We'll take the float right off too. I want to see if that float sunk. Brass floats have a tendency to crack and fill up with fuel. I'm just going to give that a quick. I don't feel anything juicy going around on the insides. Stop it. Right, so again, this is the idle. And I got to get a pair of pliers for that. Hard to say. Okay, he said he had it all apart. I would suspect it's clean, but again, just want to check everything. What's the last year of three-wheelers? I thought it was like 86, 87. They kind of banned them and outlawed them. Yeah. We'll look underneath the microscope real quick. We'll see what we got. That looks like it's got some kind of scuzz on it, huh? Don't think it's our problem, but yeah, this is what I use to look at things. You wait until you're over 50. So that's got some crap on it. I see some, whatever that is right there, I just peeled off. And then down the center of it, right? A big dirt stain going down the side of it. Don't mind my tool. Don't mind my dirty tool. I don't know if that shows up or not. There is some crap. The center hole is open, but got crap around the edge. Knock it off. So I'm gonna go clean that up. I don't think that was any of our problem. That is on the main. The idle jet looked okay. I think this would be an issue if, whoops. This would be an issue if you had to run it with the choke on and it was kind of running lean. I would suspect the main. I don't think we have an issue there. And it's back on. Let's go prime it up. That float bowl fill up. We'll see if it fires up. I have a better idea what we're working with. Right. Hopefully she fires up. Let's give her some choke. Yeah, it runs for a second, dies. Runs and dies, runs and dies. Let's prime it up And then let's go pop that fuel line off. And we'll see if it pumps fuel by itself. We'll see if that system's even working. Alright, so fuel line's hanging right there. We'll see if that sputters out gas. If it does, then we know the delivery's working. Come on, stay. That's good enough. We'll see if gas just pisses out. Figures, right? I'm going to pop it back on for a second and prime it. Feels like it's all the way full. I'm not seeing anything coming out of that. Yeah, we got nothing. So something's out with that fuel delivery. Looking at that. Also sounds like something else is screwed up, but that's the start for us. Alright, we know the primer button works and we're able to draw fuel through it. So we know the fuel is coming out of the tank, through here, and up through the line when we work the primer. But either the pump has got issues internally or we have a vacuum issue, which this wasn't in our way. We'd be able to see a little bit better. We got to figure out where that vacuum signal is going. Let me go get this fuel line out of our way, and maybe we'll even unscrew this, kind of pull it back a little. What that is, fuel or vacuum? And who knows if the order of these is correct too. We got 1, 2, 3. How would that operate? So just popped off. So that one's wet. Let me go label them. We'll pull some stuff off and we'll get a better idea of what's kind of happening in here. Maybe there's some writing on here that kind of says what they are. Yeah, on a garden tractor, it'll be behind the pump and it draws it to the center of it. Let's go just call this one 1 dot, 1 dot, 2 dots, 2 dots. And that one will be 3. That one looks kind of crappy on the end there too. Alright, the one with spring is 3. It's not going to stay on there because of the gas. Again, we know gas does go through it though, because we saw it draw with the primer. Not saying it's in the right order though. Still kind of suspecting that pump, but alright, so my guess, I'm thinking about it more, would be this is out to the fuel pump. One of these is going to be reserve, one of these is going to be the on. So one's higher, one's lower in the tank, and I still think we have something that runs this pump from behind. Yeah, we knew fuel was going through it, so I don't suspect any of that being clogged. Get that pump unbolted. And yeah, there's the vacuum pulse. Same as the tractor. It comes in from behind. That's what fires the thing. Let's go see. Follow that. Which line is this one? So where does that one goes to fuel out? That doesn't make sense. Hold on. So where's this one go? Alright, this is our fuel line. Filling the carb, I believe. And this one was going to there. That seems like a strange place. That just goes right down to the float ball. What is... Alright. What is... What's that going to nowhere? That's not it. That would be... That's an intake leak. Direct intake leak. So that line needs to go to there. And that would be the pulse I was talking about. And then this should just be a vent that drops down along the frame and just lets the float ball be able to breathe. And that might be causing two problems in one. Not letting the float ball breathe because it got locked into the pump. So the air level couldn't change in the float ball. Like when the float bowl fills with fuel, it has to dissipate air. And that's probably a vent for that. It dissipates air around, you know, some other areas too, but I think that might be part of that cause. Let me go get those hoses swapped around. Possibly we could fill the fuel bowl up. We'll try to fire it up. We'll see if this thing pulses fuel out of it like it was. I'm not going to button anything up. I'm just going to put all the lines back on where they were. And I think we will trim back that one. That one. This one. This one has a pretty big kink in it. I'm going to trim that one back. We'll pop that one on. Well, these are the two gas in. One's reserve, one is run or on. Let's go clip that one off. This is the one that is drawing fuel from those two through the pump and then out of this line to that one. So we just leave that off right there? Yeah, we'll just leave that off right there. We'll see if fuel comes pumping out of there. I hope there's enough gas in the carb to fire up. We're looking to see if fuel comes out of that. If it'll start. Oh yeah. Well, there's your problem. All right. Definitely think we found our issue, or one of them anyway. I'm gonna go put all that back together again now that we got fuel doing what the fuel pump's doing. I'm glad the pump works, and we'll see if it kind of maintains itself and how the idle part works. I ended up changing up that fuel line, the one that we cut the little end off, because I think it was a little too short, and I don't think it was routed. I don't think it was meant to be routed around the outside like that. It just seems like it would be in harm's way. I think it went behind and got a straight shot along with these other two, because before that it had a pretty big kink to it. So I flipped that around. We'll make that reserve, be the fuel on. We'll give it a fire up and see what it does, see if it stays running. And what do we got for carb adjustments? There should be an idle speed and air fuel mix. So that one's our idle speed, and that's air fuel mix right there, probably for idle. And we can leave this one off. So it's going to solve two problems. One, that being open on top, that was a vacuum leak. That was going to cause it to run very lean, because instead of it drawing air through the carburetor and then mixing fuel with air to draw it in, instead it takes a shortcut. If that port is open, it's going to suck air in through there, not mix with the gas. So essentially it's getting more air than it is gas, and it's throwing the mix way off, and that would cause it definitely to have run issues also. We'll leave this off for now too. See what we get. And let's fire it up. Oh. priming one or two just to fill the float ball in the system. Yeah. No choke. Help we turn it to run. Idle. Idle. Kinda. Good die out. Give it a little. We'll turn the idle speed up just a little for now. We'll let it warm up in a minute. And then we'll adjust that air fuel mix. Put the boot on too. The drag of the air cleaner kind of helps also. How far out that is? Way out. Holy. I'm gonna run until it dies. Almost dies. Terrible. You'll play with that a little bit too as it kind of runs. Gotta lower the idle. You hear it like popping back, parting a little bit. Make sure that choke's all the way off. That weird two knob setup of a choke. Yeah, it is. We see where. All right, it's half, 1, 1.5. 2 should be right around there. No promises, but let's go do that. It takes a little while to settle down. It seems like it's off a little. Too far out right now. You can kind of tell. You can tell by that popping back. But when I run it in, I'm not finding a good window for it to operate. Might just leave it right there. Plus, sometimes I'm gonna keep bringing the idle down. The other thing too is you're gonna bang it in gear. It's got an automatic clutch, so you don't want a high idle. Somebody adjusts this, they gotta hit the throttle a little bit because there's a slide inside of here. You just kind of want to lift it up and let it set back down on itself again so that it's at its resting area instead of trying to just do it by adjusting the knob. That's not terrible. Also inside here, if I find I have a big problem, especially if I start riding it, there's a needle I can move up and down. The slide lets a lot of air in, adjusts how much air goes in. The needle allows how much fuel goes in. I find a lot too, like you'll play with them, you gotta run it a little bit. You take it on trails and you get it all the way up to temperature and you find out it kind of settles in a little bit different. That's why, especially on this older stuff, that screw right there, it's knurled on the side of it. You can actually, while you're riding a bike and over, you know, temperature, winter, summer, hot, cold, you can kind of tweak the idle speed up and down a little bit as you're using it. This isn't hurting anything. This is just a breather that went down to nowhere. So that being open is not causing any issues. That sounds pretty good right there. You can tell it's off a little bit though by when you rev the gas and when you let off, how fast it goes back to idle. Actually, it's pretty good. If it hangs up a little bit and then kind of drops down, you know you're off some. Good, I'm gonna go button up a bunch of crap on it, and you know what's next, right? Just throw that on there. That's the fuel line that I took off. Let that just kind of, generally is like a little hole or a valley in the back of the frame that they run down. Probably that hole right there. Right. That's stuff for him to fix up. We're not restoring it. Our job was just to figure out why it wouldn't run right. Well, other than the seat, everything seems to be back on. Let's go fire it up and see if we can go through the gears. It's a little rocky. See if we can do this without launching it off the bench. This actually starts out too. Cold start. Nice. That rims a little bit, huh? It's kind of weird. All the gears are down. It's got a lever for reverse. Not the wheel or the axle. You guys tell me. What was it? I think she's pretty quiet on, huh? You'll probably even come down to idle a little more. So I said, like, after it runs a little bit, we're going to be able to dial in and fine tune it. Sounds pretty good. That's my bench. Like, what's rattling? This. I think purrs, huh? Like a kitten. Is where we hurt ourselves. Reverse. The idle speed can probably come down a little bit. Stop that grinding. See what it does in the forward gears. These things suck at turning. You got to kind of get your weight off. It'll be a 16-point turn. Let's just do that. Remember, they're all down. I don't hit the gears going the wrong way. Tire pressures aren't even. You give it gas, it goes to one side.
Wrong way. Guess we should check the brakes. Yeah, they're good. This thing needs nice loose gravel to play in. Eyeball you up there a little. Gotta kind of let the inside tire come up. Because the axle's locked together. Go thrashing. Which way's first? Down or up? Forget. Neutral. First. Roll back. Come on, go back. Yeah, shift is weird. It'd be hard if you go from one thing to another, you know, like you're used to one bike and the gears are all up. Wrong way. Ah, it's in muddy back here. Uh-oh. Let's get out of here. Wrong way. Yeah, essentially every time you turn, you want it on two wheels. Back tire's about 8 inches off the ground right now. And it'll turn on a dime. There's no suspension. The tires. Well, it was 70 yesterday, and it was
It's 20 today.
Was it 19 last night? 18? It was in the truck, so
Yeah.
give her a shot, see what it does. I don't know about the choke. I would just.
We do double choke.
Yeah, that was a weird setup. I didn't quite understand.
They call it the retarder or something.
I don't know.
The choke limiter. We say over 40.
Yeah.
Under 40, use it.
See what you get. You don't have to prime it.
Really?
There you go. I'll give it a little bit of gas. How's that?
All right, let me just turn. Maybe that one doesn't. Ooh, there we go. I need to shut that in.
Yeah, maybe you shut them all off.
It seems like it's. All I smell is fuel.
Yeah.
We flooded it.
Just let it warm up a minute.
That does idle a lot better.
Nah. Does what it's supposed to.
Runs good though.
It seemed like it was coughing a bit at first, and then it kind of went away. I just let it warm up, and then I dialed the carb in. You may just have to tweak it a little bit,
yeah.
But we'll see what we get. We'll let that warm up for 5 minutes, and
yeah.
I'll let you be the
Got nice idle though.
test dummy.
I thought you make the tight turn.
My turn. You're running out of fuel?
First time on a three-wheeler. Maybe the last time. Oh, that works a lot better.
I told me. He's leaning the wrong way.
Lean to the outside.
So strange.
Go the opposite direction. It's counterintuitive. Like
Oh,
you want
so
to make
I
it,
wanna go
yeah.
this way to
Let
turn
that
it.
tire come up, and it'll turn.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Now I know why they outlawed these.
I told him he's going to take out his left ankle and his left knee because he's going to put his foot down and drive over it. He's right close to it.
First is hard to find.
Leaning the wrong way again. Lean the other way!
That's so weird.
Now, you gotta get used to leaning the other way so you can pick the tire up.
Yeah, you're right. I know what you mean. It's just
Because it's locked, you know, it'll just push if you don't.
yeah, it pushes it forward.
Yeah, so you gotta lift one of the tire, and the easier tire is the inside tire to lift up,
Were you
which is
waiting for me to
weird.
Get my leg sucking under there.
Yeah,
I had it way out.
yeah, I made the comment that that's what I made the comment. That's what you're gonna do too.
He's gonna get his leg sucked under.
It's coming.
That's why I was way out there.
Yeah, it's coming. You will.
Is that why you keep filming me? 'Cause you're waiting for me to get sucked under.
That's, you know.
I wish there was an indicator up here.
Can you turn that choke off now? It'll idle down.
Oh wow.
So it'll be easier to shift too if it's not revving as high.
Yeah. It does purr like a little kid. Fill it up, please.
How many think it's gonna take?
How many?
you
That's
think?
can't be more than 2.5 gallons.
I wouldn't even say that much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 1.3.
I'm gonna go with 1.6. What?
Yeah, but you're gonna make it so it clicks off. And then you're gonna keep filling it and dumping it on the ground. What? Yeah, see? You're gonna make it so it gets there.
It could take a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
Uh-oh. Oh, wait.
Is it on?
No.
Is it on?
Yeah. I don't think it will start in here.
No, choke off. Yeah, you don't need that. Well, see ya.
Make a great thumbnail.
Might start in here.
Need more snow. Yeah, 2 inches of snow. Tomorrow. Oh yeah.
This might be a good dumb idea.
I think it's a great dumb idea.
It was 70 yesterday, right?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I don't. Don't lose my three-wheeler. Oh no. I'm gonna get sprayed. They melt from the outside in, don't they? Yeah, that reverse works good. It's cracking.
About an inch of snow.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be perfect out here, yeah. It's sticky.
4 screws in it.
Looks like too much fun. trouble. Little thin over there. Go top.
People are like, what the heck is that sound?
A lot of fun with $2 worth of gas.
Yeah, it's totally worth it.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this two middle-aged men having fun on a 14-year-old's toy, spinning around and bringing back our childhood a little bit. It definitely was fun. And I hope we get about an inch of snow or so, and you can kind of putt it around with a little bit of traction. It'd be awesome. You can do a little bit of track times on the ice, and hopefully I'll get the four-wheeler going and him and I can get hurt together.
Yes, I like the sounds of that.
Alright guys, with that I'm going to sign off. Thank you all for hanging out, doing a little bit of wrenching, a little bit of fun, a little bit of wheeling. Till the next one, I'll see you.